everyone, welcome back to another consignment update here at Gardiner Houlgate Auction Rooms. Our next guitar auction taking place 3rd to the 6th of December. Consignment deadline 1st of November, so if you do have anything that you want to consign for the sale, that is the date you have to get it to us by. We got a lot to get through today. We're going to try and get through about 50 guitars, maybe a few more, because we have been completely bombarded with entries and we want to try and show as much as possible. As always, comment, get the conversation going, comment on the guitars that you like, comment on any mistakes that I make, because there's always something in there that I know you guys like to correct me on. And of course, if you do like this video, I'll let you decide at the end. Please subscribe to our channel, like this video, hit the bell icon so you do get notified of the future videos. So that's enough of me, and let's go and have a look at the guitars. In this old case we have an old guitar, and artist owned as well, which the top of the guitar will be a giveaway. Gordon Giltrap. So this 1967 Martin D35 12 string was previously owned by Gordon Giltrap up until 1998, when it went to the current owner. So now putting it up to auction with a collection of his guitars. The collector's now got to an age where he needs to dispose, or decided he wants to dispose of things as people do. But as you can see, Brazilian rosewood back and sides on this one. Got the 3-piece back on the D35 models. And you can see again, lovely grained Brazilian rosewood on the sides. Typical spruce top, as already mentioned. Autographed by Gordon Giltrap. You see lots of playwear here, used, well, I would assume fairly extensively by him. Ebony board, mahogany neck, the usual sort of open head box, and yeah, it's a good playable guitar. You can see the belly, luckily hasn't bellied as a lot of 12 strings can do, and comes in its case. And there is actually a letter as well on Gordon Giltrap headed paper to the owner, just with a bit of information about the guitar. There you can see 1998, and there is even a picture of Gordon Giltrap in the studio of Brian May, and the both autographed by both artists with tribute to the owner. So yeah, a lot of provenance with this guitar. Gordon Giltrap owned 1967 Martin D35 12, and we have a link with this guitar, not from the same collection, but Gordon Giltrap related. This is the JHS Vintage Gordon Giltrap model. So Gordon Giltrap had the partnership with JHS Vintage Guitars, and this is his classic model. Electroacoustic. These guitars come in at relatively good money, £300 to £400 for a very good acoustic guitar, with an artist endorsed name behind them. Comes with its original case, and it looks like it's in good condition, doesn't it? And again, more on the, I guess, budget scale. This is an Italia Maranello, giving those retro looks, pearl looks, very much like the old Eco 1960s guitars with the pearl and sparkle finishes. But again, a good guitar in good condition. And in here we have a Dobro. So this is from the period that Gibson owned the company, but this would be more of a, I guess, Epiphone standard one. So one of the entry range, they did the Hound Dog model and similar, but this one's got the F-hole cutouts and the sound hole, should I say, cutouts, what am I on about, and the single cone resonator plate with its original case. And in here we had the Epiphone Link Dobro, and here we do have an Epiphone, this one a Korean made Blues Deluxe. You don't often see this model around. I can only think of a couple that we've had in the past, but you've got the 3 dog ear pickups, you've got the individual control for each, but a smart looking guitar, just generally a good solid jazz box. Like I said, don't see many of them around, and a very well made Korean Epiphone guitar. And from around 2008, Washburn parlour guitar. This is the R314KK model. Now these were brought out to celebrate 125 years of Washburn, so they were sort of based on the original Washburn guitars. And as you can see, it is a small parlour guitar. It's got this I guess faux relicing, and but they are very, very good little guitars if you are into the whole parlour thing, and probably a lot better than some of the originals in some ways, because they are more factory made with, I guess, more accurate tooling. So a lot easier to fettle, and so yeah, if you were after a solid parlour guitar, then these are a very good option, and they usually come in the low hundreds. Always nice to feature a bass guitar, and here we have a 2003 Fender American Standard Jazz Bass in the silver finish, good condition with its original case. And something a bit different in this case for Martin guitars. So this is the Alternative 2 model. So it's essentially, well, it is, isn't it? It's an acoustic resonator. Some of the weird and wacky designs from, I believe these were from around 2011. But you've got this this aluminium top, the resonator, single cone resonator plate, and then you've got the HPL laminated back and neck, so high pressure laminate. It's sort of what Martin used to be eco-friendly. I've actually got one of their acoustics, and I actually love it. I think it's great. Not a lot of people like the whole HPL thing, but I think there's nothing wrong with it, and my acoustic is fantastic. So I haven't got anything bad to say about the whole idea and concept. As long as it sounds good and plays good, that's all that matters at the end of the day. But there you go, a bit different from Martin. And here we have a Japanese Fender. You don't often see this model either. So this is a 68 reissue. Got the natural finish body, crafted in Japan, so it's from the 90s. And I'll just whip it around, and as you can see, big headstock, which would indicate sort of the later 60s ones, a la Jimi Hendrix, that kind of idea. But yeah, natural finish, big headstock, maple board, and not often that you see them, and it's in great condition. Now, some would say the best take on the single coil Strat idea is a Music Man Silhouette. Now, we have a lot of these in the sale. Just looking up at the rack, there is 7 in total, I think, all from one collection. So a collection of Music Man silhouettes. I've gradually been selling this gent's collection. I think we've now nearly sold all of his silhouette offerings, but very, very good guitars indeed. I love the small headstock with the 4 and 2 aside. Really highly figured bird's eye maple neck. This is from around 1990. You got the see-through butterscotch finish, and you got the SSS pickup configuration. Some of the guitars came in HSS and then HSH, so various different ones. And yeah, this one's in good condition with its original case. Music Man Silhouette. So we'll have a quick look at some of these. So this one is the next one there, again from around 1990, Music Man Silhouette, this one in the metallic blue finish, and again SSS spec with its original case. And in here, again from similar year, this one's probably actually slightly earlier, 1989, we've got the serial number on the back of the head impressed rather than on the neck plate, slightly different neck plate as well, and then this is the trans red finish. Again, SSS spec and bird's eye maple neck, original case, again, good condition. This one, black finish with a rosewood board this time. You still got the maple neck with the bird's eye figuring. Again, from around 1990, this one, with its original case, SSS spec. And in here, 1989 again, natural finish. We can see the control knobs on this one are changed. They're typically the plastic type. But SSS spec, again in its original case. Look at the figuring on that neck. Good timbers used. So this one is fairly interesting. So purple finish on this one. This is actually a refinish. If you put the serial number into the database for Music Man, it comes up as having a red finish. Now, with a lot of these Music Mans, there was a problem when they are finished and the paint didn't cure properly and ended up being quite soft, went out to customers, and obviously people weren't very happy with the fact that their guitars had soft, tacky finishes. So you do sometimes find that some of these silhouettes from around this period have been refinished, just because it's been a must. It's usually very acceptable to have a refinished silhouette, especially if that was the reason that it happened. But still, it's got a striking look, trans purple finish. This one you'll also see that the HSS spec is in place here. This is actually a replacement. It was originally SSS, and it looks like we've got Damasio humbucker in the bridge position. So pickguard has been altered to fit as well, or replacement pickguard, should I say, to fit those pickups, as you can get these pickguards sort of as they are. So yeah, there we go. Bit of an interesting side story there, and I believe there's a couple of these that have been refinished. I believe the blue one, the metallic blue one that we saw a few guitars back, is also a refinished one that I forgot to mention at the time. And in here we have the amber finish on this one. Again, all the black hardware, SSS spec. This one again from around 1990. Bird's eye maple neck. The 4 and the 2 tuners, as with all of them, with its original case. So in here we have an Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray bass, just as a change from the Silhouette guitars. So we've got some good Music Man basses as well. Had quite a few good, decent Music Man basses in the last sale as well. But this is the HH model, so the 2 humbucker model with its original case. And I believe this guitar was bought by the owner from us initially. So these things do come round. And again, another Music Man Stingray. This one needs a bit of a gentle clean in places. Sunburst finish, just with the single humbucker pickup. And the active battery pack there. And there we go. Good bass. And will be in good condition with a bit of a clean. Another Music Man, this time the Sterling model. Single pickup, again, metallic blue finish, a slightly different body shape on these. Maple neck, rosewood board, again, does need a little bit of a clean where it's been in storage for a while, but with its non-original case. A few repeats in this cell. Music Man Sterling bass in the white finish. This one I'm pretty sure has been refinished. It'll be in the description anyway, but I'm sure that's a refinish. Lots of wear on the neck, which actually makes it feel really comfortable to play. Nice and small neck on this one, as you can see, very thin. So if you've got smaller hands, perfect. But there we go, pearl white Sterling Music Man bass. I think we have more 80s Tokais than we ever have done. We've got at least 10 so far. And we got a very, very nice pink paisley one, which I'll show you in a future video, not this one. It's going in a standalone video on its own for various reasons. Artist owned, but we will announce that in a future episode. So here we are, we have a 1984. You can tell the year from the general specs, but essentially this logo and headstock shape. This is a Goldstar sound, so it's a Strat copy in the, I guess what would be Olympic white talking Fender. L-series plate, much like the original 60s, it's a 64, it's basically a 64 reissue, and not an original case, just a generic oblong case, but these are great Japanese made guitars, and you can pick them up for hammer price £400 to £500, so a great Strat alternative. So we are on a run of Tokai guitars, again 1984 64 reissue, this time candy apple red. Again, made in Japan, very good quality. There we go. And what have we got in here? Here's another one. This time Fiesta red finish. Again, rosewood board, 1984 Tokai Goldstar sound with the L serial number. We got some buckle blemishing on the back. So not quite as fresh condition as the previous two, but still decent Japanese made guitar from 1984. In this tweed style case we have another one, Tokai Goldstar sound, again from around 1984 with this metallic blue finish, again rosewood board. 50s style this time. So we've got a bit of a V-neck on this one, which is nice, again from the same period, 1984, but this is of course very much in the Mary Kay style. So you've got the blonde finish, single ply guard, very much similar specs to the original Mary Kay 50s instrument, 4-digit serial number, and it's a nice looking thing. Maple board, like I said, with the nice shallow V profile neck. So this time again 50s style in the sunburst finish, two-tone sunburst finish, so slightly bigger neck, so slightly earlier 50s type, and yeah, bird's eye maple on the neck there as well, so good timbers used. And I think we were just discussing, although this is a bit more beaten up, but discussing how this run of Tokais we are looking at are now 40 years old, amazingly. And yeah, that one does look a bit more like it's 40 years old, but 50s type 1984 Tokai Goldstar sound. Great guitar. So we're having a rest from Tokai guitars, and here we have a Fender made in Japan. So this is a 62. This will be reissue. Got the green guard, Olympic white finish, rosewood board, spaghetti logo, very much 62 stylings, and this one's in very good condition indeed. In the tweed Fender case, we have a Fender Telecaster. So this is an American vintage reissue, so 52 reissue of the original Telecasters, Blackguard Telecasters, and you can see with the flat head screws that they used during this time, and in the neck plate as well. But this one's actually from 1987, so it is starting to age quite nicely. You possibly see some checking on the body there, but the lacquer is starting to check, and yeah, a good instrument from 1987, the 52 American vintage reissue Fender Telecaster. And in here, 50s style again. This one Mexican made, custom shop designed. It's of course the Fender Baja classic Telecaster. They did a 50s and a 60s, so the 50s have the nice chunky neck, maple necks, and of course the 60s ones have the 60s profile rosewood board necks in the more 60s colours. But the 50s ones, you get this this butterscotch or see-through finish. I have one of these guitars myself. I think they're great, so I can fully put my shoulder behind endorsing these guitars. This one's from 2007, I believe mine's from 2009. Not that it makes any difference whatsoever. But there we go, in a Westfield tweed case. But great guitars, I really can vouch for these. Here we have a bass guitar for a change, still Fender. This is the modified series from the Chinese-made instruments 2013, and this is a jazz bass. So you got the two stacked sets of pickups here, but really good bass guitars, particularly for the money. These come in hammer price £200 to £300, and just very good quality. Again, another bass guitar and another good quality instrument, so Sandberg guitars or basses. So this is the California series VM4. This is, I'm assuming the V stands for vintage, but there we go, the classic two-tone sunburst finish. You've got the precision type pickups there with the, I guess that's a Music Man type pickup near the bridge, but with the classic tortoise shell guard, rosewood board, maple neck. Another good bass guitar. So in here we have an Epiphone John Lennon J160E, of course the iconic model used by John Lennon in the early Beatles days with the neck pickup. There we go, of course his was a Gibson, but this is Epiphone's, I guess they're always doing their inspired by series and things like that, but this is a limited edition John Lennon J160E. Long time since we had a Paul Reed Smith, not had one in this video at least. So 25th anniversary Paul Reed Smith 2011 Santana II model. This highly figured purple finished 10 top. Looks like the finish is bled into the pearl a bit there, but there we go. Very good guitar indeed. High quality. As you can see, we've got the number 10 there marking the 10 top, but 25th anniversary from 2011 with its original case and tags. So in here we have a lesser seen model actually. This is the Ibanez S-Classic. hardtail guitar, double humbucker, but these didn't last. These weren't around for long. This specific model, you can see it's got its changed Spurzl tuners from 1998 with a non-original tweed case. Here we have a 2005, when I can finally open the case. Fender Stratocaster, maple board, Olympic white finish with the maple neck that I've already said. But there you go, 2005, so American standard Fender Stratocaster. And as many say, the Les Paul killer, even though it is SG style. But these guitars really are fantastic. Japanese made. This is the SG2000 model. This one's from around 2006 from memory. Cherry finish with the original case. But as you can see, it's just in fantastic condition. Really, really nice, clean condition. Like I said, with the original case. And I really can see, having spent a bit of time with this, why people say they are Les Paul killers. Fantastic instruments. And here we have a Fender Eric Clapton signature Stratocaster, of course the black finish one, so of course we've got the blacky decal on the head. This one is in good condition. Certainly the finishes, there's a tiny bit of lacquer pulling on the neck, which may annoy some people, but I think it's fine. So maple neck, and there we go, with the TBX mid-boost potentiometer as well. Good condition with its original tweed Fender case. So in here we have a 2012 Gibson SG, and this model's a bit different, isn't it? Not everyone will have seen this one. So this is a Diablo Premium Plus. Got the figured maple top, and you can kind of see this, I guess, German carve type.
It's like a Les Paul carve, isn't it?
It almost is, yeah, but a bit more like the German carve that you see on a lot of the German archtop instruments. But there we go. Just a single volume, single tone, and the freeway switch, but a good quality Gibson SG, and a bit different from the normal standard model. And this is a very nice guitar. You really don't see these that often. So this is a Fender Jaguar Thinline, so made in very limited numbers. 2012, I believe this is. Yes, it is. Made in Japan. Sunburst finish in fantastic condition. And yeah, if you like your Jaguars and you like the Thinline concept, then that is a very interesting guitar indeed. In this acoustic Hiscock hard case, it's not an acoustic at all. I bet you would never have guessed what was in there. But this is a Parker from the 90s, but this is a Parker Midifly. So it's got the MIDI electronics. As you can see there, got the MIDI in and out and the usual electrics, and it's got the piezo pickup as well. So there's lots going on here. HSS, piezo, MIDI, it's got everything. Metallic finish, in fairly good condition. There are some dings, but rare guitars, and a lot of people say a lot of good things about Parker guitars, particularly the necks. So in here, 100th year in 1994. As the cloth suggests, J200. There we go, in the antique natural finish. So 30 years old now, this guitar. Maple back and sides. You see the checking on it as well from all those years. So the nitro checking. But a very, very good acoustic guitar indeed. These J200s are very well thought of. Just iconic Gibson acoustic model. And in here we have a Gibson Les Paul Special double P90 pickups, and this one's from 2020, and it's just in fantastic condition with its original case. Really nice instrument, and a lot of these sort of I guess more modern, or certainly past the 2020 mark, Gibson guitars are fantastically made again, as things ended up being sorted out. So in here, a rare Gibson Les Paul. This is a 2550 anniversary model in the tobacco finish. They did them in natural as well, but you can see some checking to the finish, but the gold is all still nice and strong. You've got the coil switch on this one, you've got the fine tuning bridge, but it's a very collectible Les Paul these days. These can sort of change hands between 3,500 to 4,500. Comes with its original case, and it's just in great condition. I believe we've even got the original Norlin warranty papers. There we go. So in here we have a Guild, and in the last auction we had a linked guitar to this one, which was a Brian May Standard. So the Brian May Standard doesn't have the classic Brian May electrical layout. It's more simplified, but it was the first Guild Brian May guitar that we've ever had in a sale. And now we're going to have 3 Brian May Guilds in one auction. So this is the first of the 3 that we've got in the sale. So this one's actually from 1994, so it's not one of the earliest ones. So the next 2 we see will be the earliest ones, but this is, I guess, it will be the most desirable because it has the chrome fittings. So you've got the Seymour Duncan designed Brian May pickups, and you've got the all the chrome fittings sort of more in keeping with Brian May's original Red Special. So there we go, 1994 Guild Brian May Signature Red Special. So here's the next of the 3. As you can see, slightly different. So these are known as the BHM1 model. From 1985 they were introduced, and we've got one 1985, one 1986, and this one I'm pretty sure is the 85, based on the slightly earlier serial number. And as you can see, you've got this more you've got the Kahler trem, which obviously is not as per the original Red Special. So this kind of like shows you why the later Brian May signature model is more desirable, because it is more in keeping than with the traditional Red Special. But these still are collectible because they are the earliest ones, and the first copies of Brian May's guitar, of course. So very well made guitars, and plug it in and you sound just like Brian May. And the last of the 3, so from the 80s, sort of from the initial runs. This is from 1986, birth year guitar for me, but you can see this one's actually got the figured maple tops. It's slightly different from the last one, but again you can see the pickups, which aren't quite in keeping as the original Red Special, with the Kahler trem again. Locking nut on these, and this one doesn't have Brian May on the headstock either, on the truss rod cover. But there we go. So here we have a Ibanez Paul Gilbert signature guitar. Now we have a run of these Paul Gilbert PGM series instruments. This is the PGM 900 with the trans red finish, and every single one of the ones we have are hand signed by Paul Gilbert. So this one's signed there, and it's also signed on the back of the head with a little doodle as well. So these are all from the 90s. This from 1997. And it's in great condition. It's got the classic, I guess, fake F-holes, but this one just with the single volume knob and the pickup selector. What more do you need? So in here, which is, I guess, arguably the most collectible, and certainly more of in the iconic Ibanez styling of the Paul Gilbert. So this is the PGM Series 90. So this is the 90th anniversary model, as you can see there. It's the 90 HAM. And so hardtail HSH spec with the Damasio pickups. Again, the F-holes, very good quality guitars. You can see there, again, signed by Paul Gilbert, and this one there from 1998. So in here, it's not the same guitar, it is different. We have 2. And again, this one autographed, this time with a doodle. And with this guitar in particular, we have, which the other guitar does not have, is the certificate of authenticity. There we go, 19th anniversary model. Now the HAM actually stands for Hoshino Anniversary Model. So these guitars were made as a 90th anniversary celebration of the Hoshino Gakki factory. Of course, Hoshino, the sort of founder of the factory. So there we go, and even better with this one, there's pictures of Paul Gilbert playing the guitar at Electro Music. So there we go, Paul Gilbert, PGM 90 model, played by Paul Gilbert, signed by Paul Gilbert. And the last of the Paul Gilbert models. There we go, and this is the PGM 30, so in the classic white finish with the Ibanez, I guess it's their own trem, isn't it? Or Floyd Rose licensed anyway, but branded Ibanez. Again, signed by Paul Gilbert to the control panel. 1999 this one, comes in its original case. And a signature model for one of my favourite guitarists, being a fan of the band he is known for, Dream Theater. So before he went to Music Man, John Petrucci, this is his signature model with the abstract design. These guitars are very, very rare, especially with this finish, but there we go. Signed as well by him. It's had a Plex setup, it's all good to go with perfection. And this actually comes with some provenance as well with regard to the signature. So there is a picture of a previous owner with John, with another one of his abstract models, so you can see the different finishes they came in. But you can there see the guitar with the guitar in the image, 3 of the signature models, and then all signed to the back of the head. So all with provenance there. There's a letter as well to the owner. It does state that only 100 of these guitars are available worldwide, so a very rare guitar indeed, with its original case, a John Petrucci model, Ibanez. Something a bit different from Fender. We saw earlier the Thinline Jaguar guitar. This is a Thinline Telecaster with bound body, but it's a sort of an American one, made in limited numbers. There we go, natural finish, and from 1998 these were made, so a pretty rare American factory production model with the Thinline body. Don't see many of them around at all. In this old case we have a 1970s Burns Flight bass. So a rare bass indeed. This one has been modified. You can see these panels that were put in place. These controls would have originally been here, but the owner is left-handed, so he switched them round, and then he got this matching rosewood piece of wood to match it all in. Control knobs are replaced, but it is a working instrument, nice and lightweight actually. I guess you could say very aerodynamic, but there we go. I'm here all day. Original case even comes with the original Burns tag, Flight 4 with the serial number. Rare thing. I don't think that we featured enough Tokai guitars, so you can have another couple coming up now. So this one's from 1985. You can tell it's from 85 because it's got the slightly different shaped headstock. Tokai Breezysound in the metallic blue finish. So made in Japan, very good quality guitars. This one's actually upgraded with a set of Fender Yosemite pickups, but the originals are there in the box. And again, from 85, you've got the slightly different headstock shape. This one quilted amber finish, or quilted maple with the amber finish. Again, made in Japan, as you can see. So mid-80s, 1985, Tokai, nearly said Fender then, Tokai Breezysound electric guitar. And a slightly less traditional take on the Telecaster. This is a Charvel ProMod San Dimas HH Teletype electric guitar, made in Mexico. So this is under Fender's ownership. Of course, Fender now own the Charvel name, but you've got this trans-quilted blue finish, Seymour Duncan pickups. It's a very, very good guitar. I love the necks on these. They have a nice satin feel, so nice and fast. Hardtail as well. What's not to like? So there we go, ladies and gents. We definitely had a look at over 50 guitars. Hope you enjoyed the video today. As always, comment on the things that you liked, the things that you don't like, any corrections of all the wrong things I might have said, but hopefully there weren't too many. And of course, subscribe to our channel if you like this video, hit the bell icon, and of course, like this video. Thanks for joining us again today. As I've said already, these guitars will all feature from the 3rd to the 6th of December, 4-day auction, last auction of the year. If you do have anything to sell, final consignment date is the 1st of November, and We will be back next week with another consignment update. See you next time.